Dear Jill, so my mom has a special talent. She can make a simple trip to the grocery store feel like a full blown family intervention. She's like a walking Google search of unsolicited advice. Oh, you're out of almond milk. Well, you should be drinking goat milk. It's better for your digestion. Doesn't matter if I'm trying to buy toothpaste. She is there, ready to explain why I'm buying the wrong brand of toothpaste for my oral health crisis. Lately, I've started making a game of it. I ask her questions like, is this weather too youthful for me? Or do you think I should tell my boss I need more vacation days because of my emotional fatigue from family gatherings? But no matter how many weird questions I throw at her, she still answers them seriously. I'm starting to think she's a bit of a supervillain, and I'm trapped in her web of advice and judgment. I love her, but at this rate I might need a secret identity to survive the weekly visits. How do I dodge the helpful advice without accidentally starting World War III? Sophie, the undercover daughter.
Well, I'm just going to ask the obvious question first of all. Like, why are you going shopping with your mum? If it's at its height at the grocery store, just don't go to the grocery store. That's what I'd first of all. But I think what you're saying in a larger way is that she just gives you unsolicited advice and thinks she knows best all the time. I think it's I think so many people could relate to this, by the way, Sophie. I really do. You are not alone in this position. My mum isn't like that, I have to say, but I know lots of people who have mums like that. Um, I think a lot of parents really struggle when their children grow up and they can't parent them anymore, when they have their own money and own opinions and own lives. And I think it makes them feel like something is lost. And what seems to have happened here um, is that your mum hasn't been able to move from parent to child to sort of parent to adult. And parent to adult is, I would say, much more of a equal partnership, and it's much more of a friendship, and it's much more of a hopefully like equal respect for each other. And I don't know why some adults get stuck in that need to like parentify even like their 46-year-old son or something, which just seems bizarre to me, but they really do feel like I need to tell this person this thing because otherwise they'll never survive. It's a very kind of old trope, isn't it? But I think it still really exists. And it sounds like you're doing quite a good job because you're having a bit of fun with it. And if you don't think your mum will listen when you say to her, you do know that if I want advice, I would ask you. You do know that you don't need to tell me like what milk I should be drinking or how I should live my life. If you don't think she'll listen to that, because some people really can't, you would say the words, they would look at you and they'd go, and then they would just carry on doing what they're doing because some people are sort of almost, they're too stuck in their ways, I think, to even hear it properly. If you think that that would be your man, then the only way around this is to ignore what she says, literally, like just zone it out and laugh at it, much like you have been, and just kind of letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, or to shut the conversation down or to divert it to something else when she does try and give you advice. Other than that, I don't think there is much you can do. But, and this is not a burn, right? It's just that when we're in a dynamic with someone, as much as we say, but they do this all the time and they're always like this with me and they're constantly saying this, I think it's always worth saying, what is my part in this? Do I have any part to play in this dynamic? So you could say to me, if you were being really honest, and I'm making this up, but you could say, well, Jill, for 90% of the time, her unsolicited advice really annoys me. But there is 10% of the time where I ring her up and I go, Mom, I've run out of, milk and I just don't know what to do. Will you go to the supermarket and get it for me and drop it off? I don't know. I'm making that up. But what I'm saying is, if you think about your behavior, are there any times where you want to, or you do slip into that sort of childlike quality, because it may be that you're playing a little game with each other. I don't know. Um, that's something for you to think about for sure, because usually it is a bit of a two-way street, a dynamic. Somebody can be something only if you allow them to be. So yeah, I would say, like, have a little look at your own stuff and just be really honest with yourself as well. But you and thousands of others, I think, are in this position, by the way. I think a lot of people will relate to what you're saying. But yeah, I'd be interested actually if you could, like, if you did change anything or do anything different, it'd be really interesting if you call back to see if you'd managed to switch that relationship in any way.